have a bunch of finishes and a couple of things that I'm working on. And I have a giveaway to talk about at the end of the episode, so stay tuned. I'm the Apple Crafts Podcast. My name is Alicia. I'm filming outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And I am a hand yarn dyer. I'm still getting used to, I've been doing this for a long time, and like just in the last year or so, I'm trying to get used to telling people that I dye yarn for a living. I have a cat coming in here. I should have closed the door. Anyway, so I'm still getting used to like telling people that I dye yarn, and the responses I get are really fun, honestly. They're like, "Oh, I've never heard anything like that." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Yeah, bitch." Anyway, so I am a yarn dyer outside of Nashville, Tennessee. Very small batch, and you can find me on Etsy as APLCrafts Fine Yarn, and I am on Instagram as APLCrafts Fine Yarn. BlueSky, and I can never seem to remember my handle on BlueSky, so it'll be linked down below. And actually, I don't think I have linked it below before. I'm gonna have to fix that, so it'll be linked down below today. And yeah, so every single time I've been podcasting lately, I've had a day, and I've done a lot of running around today. So Fridays I like to go to a coffee shop that's down the street from me, Viva La Fresa, and it's very small, but it's cute. It's got good vibes, good people, good coffee. So I usually sit there and knit for about an hour or so, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see pictures of my coffees and stuff, and my knitting and whatever. And then I had to pick up cat med. Yep, because you can go to CVS and pick up cat meds, and that's what I've been doing. And nothing bad, it's just, maintenance basically for one of my cats. And had to go grocery shopping. So I go to my local Kroger. Deep sales today, man. Oh my god, I use the Ibotta app, if you've ever heard of that, just to like kind of scroll through. It does like a bunch of different stores, and you can scroll through, and sometimes they have like offers where they take money off of whatever. Usually it's name brand stuff. I don't get a lot of name brand. A few things, but not a whole lot. So I end up sometimes getting anywhere between 10 cents back to like $2 back. Once in a very, very rare occasion, I might get $4 back or something. And it goes to a PayPal account, and then every $20 you can withdraw. So anyway, so that's what I did today. And now I'm ready to podcast. So yeah, I have finishes and things that I'm working on. So let's get started with the finishes. Let me get my sock blocker. So I finished the Skip socks, simple Skip socks by Adrienne. And last time I talked about these socks, I think I was getting ready to start them, and I have started them and finished them. And the Skip, as I assumed it was definitely like a type of stitch. So what was it? You slip one, knit one, and then bring the slip stitch over the knit stitch, and it creates that design. It is, I'm pretty sure it's a free pattern. I mean, it's Skip. You could probably just look it up anywhere. So, but yeah, I think it was like you could get it for free or you could pay. So it's either or, whatever. So this is what they look like. This is the colorway is my yarn that was discontinued years ago, but I am thinking about bringing it back. This particular yarn is an untreated merino on DK, and I had to kind of fiddle a little bit with the stitch count to get it to look mostly uniform. Like here, you could tell that it's a little bit different than on this side. But yeah, so I had to fiddle with that a little bit. I did a reinforced ball of the foot and a reinforced short row heel. And oh, I think the color, I forgot to tell you the color right there. I am all over the place today, but when am I not all over the place? Strawberry Smoothie is the name of the color, and I'm thinking about bringing it back. The thing is that if I bring that colorway back, I don't know if I'm going to do it on the yarn bases I have now, because currently I do not have any untreated. But I am planning on making a yarn purchase soon, and I will be getting untreated. And that's going to be in about a month. I'm thinking about ordering some yarn. So I may do it on both. Anyway, thoughts. So these socks are super cute. I might put a picture up here of them on my feet. Very nice pattern, very easy to memorize, very intuitive. It's fun because it's not just, unless you need vanilla round and round, you know, it's enough to hold an interest. So I do plan on making another pair of these in the future, probably with some, it's in there somewhere. I've got like some, that robin's egg blue that I used for the Elsa socks. I'm thinking about using those to make another pair of these. So, knit these on a US 4. Trying to think what else. They're very squishy, and I love them. So, this is going to go into my box of socks. That's all I have to say about that. I guess I should show you a close-up of this color in case you're interested when I do bring it back. So it's like this pale, very pale pink with a little bit of yellow going through it. You can see that. And like in some places there might be like a very, very small hint of like a violet in there. So this is when I was going through a period of where I wanted to make things look more on a natural color than like a cartoonified color. Like in my head, I'm not pointing out anybody because I don't know, but like in my head, if I wanted to cartoonify strawberry smoothie, I would make it like a brighter pink, you know, like a more bold color instead of all this pastel, you know. But like in real life, if you're not using dyes or anything, strawberry smoothie is going to be more pale, kind of like a light natural yogurt or something. That was my thought process anyway. So we'll put this back. The next thing I finished was a brioche hat. Now, last month when I was talking about possibly doing brioche, I had a pattern in mind. It was a brioche kitty hat by Susanne Sommer. I think that's right. Free pattern. Now, I did brioche years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I only made one hat, and I kind of messed it up or whatever. I think I ripped it out and just never looked at brioche again. So I was like, okay, for real this time, I'm going to want to do some brioche, right? So I ripped this journey, y'all, let me tell you what. So I could not understand a pattern, right? Even now, after the whole story I'm about to tell you, I still can't figure out that pattern. It's not computing in my head. So I had to just like say, okay, the way you bind off for the brioche kitty hat, it's like if you, I'm not going to use the word, but remember those pink hats that were like really popular in protest and stuff back in 2017 and 2018? It's the same premise, okay? So it's the kitty hat. So like you're just making it flat here, and then it ends up folding over like cat ears on the ends, okay? That's the whole point of the kitty hat, as far as design. So I was like, okay, well, let me just figure out how to do brioche, and then I can bind it off in that way, and then it's sort of that hat, but it's not really because I didn't follow the pattern, you know, but I'm just using it as an inspiration. So I had to find some videos that would click in my head, and then I kept getting to like, you know, somewhere around here, and like I don't know if I'd be able to find it now, the beginning round was just always so janky and messed up, and I was like, this doesn't look right. I am not gonna like this. So I must have ripped out this hat 4 or 5 times before I finally figured out how to do the yarns in a way that actually made sense. So like when you're knitting brioche, you've got what I did just to keep track was I kept my dark color in the back, right? Because you're doing your knit stitches for brioche with the yarn that's going to be in the back. And with the yarn in the front, I used the lighter color. So that kind of helped. Another thing that I had to do was when I got to my beginning of round, I had to be very careful of where I put my yarn over to start the next row, because that was where I kept messing up. So like, pretend that this is your beginning of round stitch marker, right? And now you're over here and you've knit over here, or you're purled over here, right? So you have to take that yarn and keep it in the front, all right? So then after that, you start doing your knit stitches, you go around, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now you're at the beginning of round. So when you pick up your yarn that's in the front for the purl stitches, you don't yarn over on this side. You have to bring it over to this side and then make sure it stays on that side as you bring it over when you're slipping that first stitch over here to bring it around and purl the next stitch. That's where I kept screwing up. So I kept yarning over on this side and going around instead of coming here and then yarning over. And that makes all the difference for this last stitch right here when you're doing the brioche in the round. Once I figured that out, it was smooth sailing. So I just kept going and going and going. And I got a hat. So in the pattern, it has 3 different ways that you can bind off. What I chose to do was I found a video on how to bind off in brioche, and I followed that. And then I just, this is actually the inside, not the outside. So I'll show you the reverse in a second. Or actually, this is the reverse. I'll show you the right side in a second. So what I did was I bound everything off, and then I just kind of, not whip stitched, but kind of put the yarn through this way, like this way, and then this way, and then that way, and then this way, all the way across to get this. So this is what the right side looks like. And I'll put it on because, you know, my hair is always screwed up anyway. Who cares? So, the other thing I had to do too when I kept ripping out this hat is I kept making it too big because brioche is really, really bulky and squishy. So you're going to need less stitches than you think you need. But there you go. Boom. Doesn't look good with all my curly hair. If my hair was like braided or something, it would be cuter. But this ended up being 24 inches, which it fits me. It fits fine, but it's loose. But that's only loose because I like a snug hat. Like I think my head is 22.5 inches around, and I usually make my hats right around that because I like to have it. I think it's a sensory thing. I'm not sure. But I like to have them tight, right, or snug. And this is very loose, but I also wanted to make sure it was long enough that I could fold it and it'll still cover my ears and stuff. So, so that's the brioche hat. So now that I don't want to say that I'm comfortable with brioche, but I definitely took care of the demystification, and I think that if I do another brioche project soon, it'll stay in my head. So what I would like to do at this point is maybe find a brioche pattern that has mostly straight rows like this, but with a little bit of going in a direction, just so I can kind of start learning how to do more stuff in brioche so I don't lose what I just learned. I haven't looked at any patterns yet. I may do that in the next week or so. Because yeah, I don't want to lose what I just learned and have to start all this all over again, because that would just be a pain. This yarn, I'm trying to remember this. Do I have the thing? I might have the label for the dark pink. The light pink was a yarn that was mine that I dyed up way back when I first started dyeing yarn. Let me see if I can find the label. I believe this is the label. Why won't you not unfold? There we go. Jeez. I don't think it has a color name though. No, color 12. But it's an Aran weight Queensland collection Tide. And it is cotton, viscose, and alpaca. So 40% cotton, 30% viscose, 15% alpaca, 10% polyamide, 5% wool. Well, man, that is just all over in it. Anyway, and then yeah, like I said, that light pink is just one that I dyed up way back when I first started dyeing yarn. So that yarn was like 8 years old or something like that. So, and I still have more left. I don't know what I want to do with it. I've got a whole bunch of little balls of, you can see it here, this is all worsted weight in here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. The easy answer would be just to make a blanket, and that may be what I'll do. And I think I talked about that before, but I don't know yet. I have a lot of whips. I still have a lot of castanitis, so we'll see. I'll revisit that later. But if I do make a blanket, you know it's going to be modular, because you know me, I can't I can't do anything that's not modular. It's going to be super rare, and it has to be something very particular if I'm not going to make it modular. So, alrighty. That's all I have for finishes. 2 finishes. And I have 2 things I'm working on still. The Cardoon pullover by Isabell Kraemer. I might have put an inch or 2 on the body since the last time you saw this. Yeah, probably about 1.5 inches. It's real back burner. I mean, you know, we're getting into 70-degree weather now, so it's kind of like it'll be ready in the fall. I'm not in a rush for it. I'm not in a rush for any garments really at this point, because I spent the first 5 years of my knitting life making garments, and I probably did like 8 or 9 a year, so I've got more than enough. So now it's just kind of at my leisure. But yes, this is the pattern, and the yarn is Jamieson's of Shetland. Forgot what the gray color was called, but the red color is called Bramble. It's kind of scratchy, which is another reason why I kind of taken my time knitting it. I don't want to rip it out. It should have, when I'm done with it, like 1 inch or 2 of ease, which is how I like my sweaters. But I'm thinking that when I block this, I may use a little extra Eucalypt and maybe even throw in some conditioner just to really soften this, because I don't know if this is going to be itchy or not. I mean, it doesn't feel itchy on my arm. I haven't actually tried doing this at all. Feels a little bit rough on my chest, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping that I'll be done with this in like 2 or 3 months. It's kind of like at the point where, you know, it's just straight stockinette. So if I just need to just knit, which is usually at the end of the night, I'm at the point where I don't want to do anything kind of that's textured. I don't want to do anything that's a pattern. I just want a straight stockinette. So this is a good time for that. And that's usually when I can get like a few rows in. So, but yeah, that's it with that. I'm on my 3rd ball of the gray, and I have 3 more balls of the gray. And now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if that's going to be enough. I think after this ball of yarn, I'm going to do my arms, just in case. And then I'm going to use the Bramble to do the cuffs on the arms, just so I can kind of save myself some of this gray yarn. And then whatever I have left, I do on the body. So I hope it works out. It should. But I'm going to do the arms next, and then go from there. And if it doesn't work out, then I guess I'll just have to be buying some more yarn. We'll see. Anyway, I am knitting this on I have no idea. That's why I have this. Alright, let's see. This is just a Knitter's Pride needle thing. Okay, now it's a 6. I'm using a US 6. Yeah. And then the last thing I'm working on is the Hello Spring Ponchette. And this is my 2nd time making that one. The first time, I don't know if it was last spring or last summer that I made it. I was using this yarn here, this really thick worsted, I don't even know what this is made of, cotton and tencel. This is what I used my first one with, and I'll put a picture up of what that one looked like. So in an attempt to use up my yarns or my stash, I decided to make another one that's way lighter in this fingering weight Juniper Moon Farm Zoe, which is 60% cotton, 40% linen. There we go. And I have 4 balls of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I went and took a ball of yarn and went into my closet to make sure I wasn't going to waste my time crocheting this, and then it went with nothing. So I've got this summer dress that it would go perfect with, like absolutely perfect, and it goes with like a couple other things. So I was like, okay, I just needed to go with at least 2 outfits. I'm fine. So I'm almost done with the first ball. I don't want to lose my place. Where am I? Pull this. There we go. Okay. Wow, that's really bright. So if you saw me last year making this, I kept getting my edges all weird, and I was really mad at myself because I've been crocheting since I was 14, and there should be no reason for me to have messed up edges. But this time I'm doing good. I haven't had any messed up edges yet. So I don't know what deal was with that last ponchette that I was having so many problems. But yeah, so this is a free pattern, and trying to remember what the multiples were. I know it's an even number, so go with that. And then okay, I'm about to lose all my, there we go. Okay. And then it's just really easy. One row is like double crochet shells, the other one is doing single crochets into the shells, and that's it. So this is the first ball. I have this much left. So I think, because you're starting this way, and then when you put it together, you're holding it this way and you're sewing it like this around your body. So you want to make sure you make it long enough so that it goes around, and then you can sew it up this way. It may end up taking all 4 balls. This is what I'm getting so far for one ball. Oh, it might be 3. Maybe I might dip into that 4th ball, I think. I don't think I mentioned this colorway. Does it say? No. Color 19. That's it. Yeah, color 19. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm hoping it'll be done soon enough. I mean, I got this done in 2 days, maybe 3. Just kind of binge watching Once Upon a Time for like the 3rd time. So, yeah, that's it for that. Okay. I think that's all I'm working on too, with the list, the 2025 list. Let me think. Yeah. I'm really trying to like pick things off of that list. I'm at the point now where I don't have anything small. It's all garments. And I don't know why I did that. That's going to be annoying. I am thinking about doing the next garment that I'm going to do with some kind of beachy top. I don't remember what it was called. I'll put a picture up though. And I was thinking about using this yarn. So it's not going to be for the summer, but probably more like fall or something, especially with the color, you know. And it's called Lynn Silk by Elspeth Levold. The color is coffee, and it's 50% linen, 30% viscose, 20% silk. So I'm thinking about doing that at some point. It'll probably get started in like a month or two. So I'll probably talk about this again next month before I actually get around to starting it, because I have a lot of projects going on, and I have a whole lot of life stuff going on. Oh my God, like it's about to get real. So, but that's my thought. Yeah. So, that's all I have for knitting content. So if you want to stick around and know about the giveaway that I'm going to be doing, stay tuned. And life stuff. So with life stuff, my in-laws are downsizing. Now, my father-in-law has been in this house for 50 years. Like literally. There's a lot of crap in this house. Just so much. And so they're downsizing from a 2-floor, well, there's one main floor, and then there's the basement that's kind of finished, and then there's a garage that I guess it was a garage when they bought the house 50 years ago, and then they closed it up and used it as a storage place. So there's a bunch of crap in there. So we've been going, I've been going over there, I've been going over there like once a week to try to kind of help out. I'm going over there tomorrow to help pack because they finalized all their paperwork and stuff, and they're moving next week. And then we got to get the house ready to sell. The only saving grace is that this is Nashville, and the house will take like 3 days to sell, but we still got to get the stuff out the house and kind of get it mostly ready to show. You know, we don't have to really fix anything because you can sell a house as is, as long as there's nothing with the codes. You know, you can sell a house as is and be fine. Especially if you want to get rid of the house pretty quickly. And in Nashville, this market, that's how it is. So we're blessed in that aspect. It's just going to be a lot of work. And so, yeah, I'm going to be busy with that. I don't even know if I'm going to have time to do a podcast next month. At least not for the beginning of the month. I may have to skip the whip section of my podcast. We'll see. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to be very busy. So we have that going on. Plus, like, he has some type of lung cancer, so like he's going through chemo and radiation, and it's just, so we have all that going on, and he's on oxygen, and like, so he can't really do a whole lot. He's 78. His wife, my husband's stepmother, is about the same age. So I mean, they can only do what they can do, right? So they really need the help of like the son and the daughter and the grandkids and the daughter-in-law, and you know, all that stuff. So it's gonna be very busy. It'll be fine, but busy, and I'm sure for them it's gonna be very emotional, because if you've been in one place for that long, that's gotta hit you in the feels somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a busy time. So I really don't know if I'll be able to do a podcast for the beginning of April, but we'll see. On a different note, for a giveaway, I am almost 150 subscribers away from 1,000. So I would like, if you've been around here for a while and you haven't subscribed, to please subscribe to my channel. And once we get to 1,000, then I'll do like a proper whatever prompt or something so that we can do a giveaway. So what the giveaway is going to be, I'm still playing around with it a little bit, but basically what it is I'm going to divide it into two things. So there'll be two winners, one international and one domestic. I'm in the US. So my thought is to do like the medium-sized USPS box and just stuff it full of yarn and trinkets and local stuff, like local teas, local chocolates, local candles, local whatever I can find, you know, and just throw it in there and just make it this big, beautiful mystery box full of stuff. Value is probably going to be somewhere around $150, in case you're wondering. So for international, my plan is around like $100 for patterns. So you can just pick out $100 of whatever you want for patterns. I'm trying to make it as close to fair as possible. You know what I mean? Because I've learned the hard way that shipping international is a huge hassle. It's very expensive. It takes a long time. So unless it's through a third party like Etsy or eBay or something, right now where I'm at in my small business, I can't do that. I can't DHL is a subscription. I can't just go and get, you know, pay X amount of dollars a month just to have DHL to do one thing. It's not worth it to me. So I figured do the patterns, and then that way you can get whatever you want. Now with the patterns, I've also learned the hard way that just because it's on sale doesn't mean when I gift it to you, I get the sale price. I have to pay full price. So just keep that in mind when I pick an international winner, that when you put all that in there, anything that's on sale, I can't get it on sale. So if you give me like 10 patterns and they're all $10 value and like half of them are on sale, I can't do that. So you might get 7 patterns or 6 patterns, so just kind of keep that in mind. But those are my thoughts for right now. Subject to change, but we got to get there first. So like I said, I'm 150 subscribers plus or minus away from 1,000, which blows my mind because I spent so many years sitting at 50 subscribers that I can't even, you know, up until 2 years ago with like 10 people watching if I was lucky. And here I am getting an average of like 70 or 80, which to some people is still, you know, small potatoes and crap. But to me, it's a lot when you compare it to like 5 to 10 views, you know, and 50 subscribers. Now I've got like almost 850. That's a lot for me. So I really want to celebrate that. So if you have been watching for a while and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe so that you can get into that giveaway when it's time. So anything else I want to talk about? My orchid is blooming. I know I've shown that before, I think here. I'm definitely doing updates on Instagram. I've got 4 blooms now on my orchid. So I'll probably put a picture up here. And I don't know if the other ones are going to bloom. They don't look like they're going to make it. But I'm just happy that I had blooms, period. So that makes me happy. I gave it a little bit of fertilizer like a week ago. Trying not to overwater it because they don't like that. But yeah, I'm really happy about it. As soon as it's done, I'm going to repot it because it looks like it's a little bit root bound. But yeah. And I think we had our last frost last night. It hit 27 degrees out of nowhere because the nights had been like in the 40s and 50s, and then all of a sudden we hit 27. But I think that was the last frost because it's, you know, we're going into the end of March. So unless something really wacky is happening on planet Earth, which you never know these days, you know. All right, so I think that's it. I don't have any other plans except for that shirt that I told you about for 2025. Yeah, but the whips, man, I got so many whips. I just keep adding them. Oh my God, it's kind of ridiculous. But we'll talk about that next time. We can talk about that. So, all right, so I will hopefully see you in 2 weeks. If not, I will see you at the end of April. And I hope you have a good month. And watch out for those April Fool's people. You know, some of them be a little bit cray. Who knows? We're also in Mercury retrograde, so be careful for crackheads. You know what I mean? Other than that, I hope you're doing all right. And go make something, and I'll see you later. Bye.